We're reading from Saigyo's awesome Nightfall. It's an actual book that we own, which is unusual for us. We usually get it from the library. I wouldn't want to lie to you, but I get things from the library. No, it's not very cool, but it's a little old-fashioned. Alright. Here's Saigyo. Where did he get his books, I wonder? He used to go to the court of the capital. Anyways, Saigyo, we're on part 13 of Saigyo's poetry. Page 109, poem 921, which is from William LaFleur, the translator. The ups and downs of waves, and of a world one maneuvers through, were storm-tossed boats, come at last to final rest in the pyres on Ship Hill. I guess that's his Buddhist poem. Ship Hill, is that where they buried the people? I think it was. The ups and downs of waves and of a world one maneuvers through, were storm-tossed boats, come at last to final rest on the pyres on Ship Hill. He says, 922, my cold corpse, covered forever with moss, for bedding, will recollect what it learned here from dew on a rock's cold dark side. My cold corpse, covered forever with moss for bedding, will recollect what it learned here from dew on a rock's cold dark side. Why is he collecting it from the rock's cold dark side? It's like he went to the dark side of the moon or something. My goodness. Is he getting morbid? 942. Staring at the moon as it dips down and heights itself on the mountain's other side, I sense that my own mind goes willingly towards its own west. Staring at the moon as it dips down and hides itself on the mountain's other side, I sense that my own mind goes willingly towards its own west. That's an interesting poem. I like that one. It's like, what's the poem I have? Or my mind. My mind went into meditation. My soul was tired, but my mind decided to go into meditation. He's saying that his own mind was willing to go towards the west, which is the Western paradise of the Buddhist, probably. Anyways, then he says, poem 945. The sound of a swollen mountain stream rapidly rushing makes one know how very quickly life itself is pressed along its course. It's like life is pressing along like the mountain stream.
He's waking up.
He's waking up?
The sound.
It's funny that this is dark. This computer, there's a computer here. Picture is dark and this picture is light. How come there's dark and light? That's a nice poem also. Let's see here. Poem 945, page 110. The sound of a swollen mountain stream rapidly rushing makes one know how very quickly life itself is pressed along its course. I also like that one, and I like the prior one. The prior one is, staring at the moon as it dips down and hides itself on the mountain's other side, I sense that my mind goes willingly towards its own west. Its mind's got its own west. Mind is going to Western paradise. Poem 946. Nothing lost, since in Satori everything thrown away comes back again. The life given up for an other. Nothing lost, since in Satori everything thrown away comes back again. The life given up for an other. Once you give up everything and reach Satori, you get it all back again if you want it. No. It doesn't. It seems to come back. 947. My dilemma. That deep realization will never come to my mind, the truth of which my mind realizes all too well. My dilemma. That deep realization will never come to my mind, the truth of which my mind realizes all too well. It's another Zen poem. The absolute truth that can't come to your mind, and your mind realizes it. What do you think of that?
What is it?
Satori, it's the word makoto kiti satori ubiku mo. It says, my dilemma, that deep realization will never come to my mind, the truth of which my mind realizes all too well. Right?
I cannot explain it.
Well, the deepest enlightenment, dear, doesn't come to the mind. And
Yeah, that's what I
beyond
thought
the
also.
mind. And then the mind realizes it all too well. That's good if it realizes it all too well. If it can accommodate it.
If it doesn't come, how can we accommodate?
The mind can come to accommodate meditation, so the mind can stop from running. And if it realizes all too well that it should stop running, when it stops running, the deep realization may come. Of course, this is...
I think that he knows that it comes, but it doesn't come to the mind.
something is coming, but it's not exactly the mind. But the mind sometimes knows something came.
The experience comes, he realizes, but it is not mental, it doesn't come to the mind, so he cannot keep it. He cannot.
We haven't encountered this poem. It says, Mato kiti satori ibiku mo nakaritsuru ko koro
He cannot control.
siruwa kokoro narikeri. Kokoro means mind, body, spirit, or something. It's our first Japanese word. My dilemma. That deep realization will never come to my mind, the truth of which my mind realizes all too well. That's a very Zen poem. We'll have to ask a lady at the Zen temple in Flushing what it means. You want to take an aster? You don't?
I think we understand it.
Yeah, it's good to ask, though. Poem 948. The mind is a sky emptied of all darkness and its moon. Limpid and perfect moves closer to mountains in the west. The mind is a sky emptied of all darkness and its moon. Limpid and perfect moves closer to mountains in the west.
If you don't read it by that in its moon, right? You don't stop in its moon.
You don't stop. You say, yeah, it's not read right. It says, the mind is the sky emptied of all darkness, and its moon, limpid and perfect, moves closer to mountains in the west. Yeah, there's not a period there. Yeah, but I'm just reading it the first time. I don't know how to read it. Because we are against preparation.
It's amazing, all that westward education.
Since I'm reading this for the first time, I have no preparation.
Since from Japan, the whole globe, the whole world lies on the west, I can imagine that tendency to move west is enormous.
Here they have a concept in his mind of the Western paradise. It's an abstraction. Western paradise of the Buddhist. So what does that mean? The mind is a sky emptied of all darkness, and its moon, limpid and perfect, moves closer to mountains in the west. Do you understand it?
And I think that's what we paint in his mind. It's a landscape in his mind.
We can't ask the nuns at the temple what it means. Torture them with our questions. I'd like to torture them.
Oh, yes, you could. You think they're not there no
Yeah, life is too peaceful with meditation and hauling up weeds. It's so peaceful over there. They need some tough questions. Well, let's read another one here. Let's see. On that chapter of the Lotus Sutra called Duration of the Life of Tathagata, goodness, those who view the moon over Vulture Peak as one now sunk below the horizon are men whose minds confused hold the real darkness. Those who view the moon over Vulture Peak as one now sunk below the horizon are men whose minds confused hold the real darkness. Poem 970. And part 13. We are reading Awesome Nightfall by Saigyo's poetry of William LaFleur. And, why does one of them last longer than the other? It doesn't make any sense. They started at the same time. But anyways, these are 12th century Japanese waka poems. And we just read some sort of Zen poems.